It's hockey night in Slough, and tonight the Bees say goodbye to a legend as James Galazzi calls time on his Bees career after 595 games. He ices for the final time in the Bees' final game of the 2022-2023 season as we welcome the Swindon Wildcats in town, who are playoff bound and heading for Sheffield next weekend. I'm joined this week by my friend Tom Graham, who is going to try and be as impartial as possible tonight, being a Swindon fan. Tom, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me back, I should say.
Yeah, obviously back. You were with me a couple of weeks ago when we had Leeds in town as an impartial. Tonight it's going to be a lot harder for you.
Yeah.
But the Wildcats, they have to bounce back from a defeat to the Raiders last night. The Bees looking to bounce back from a defeat to the Raiders on Friday night. For the Swindon, it feels like it's a game where not necessarily the result is important, but more performance and getting systems down is.
Yeah, obviously Swindon are where they are. They're going to finish fifth. They're going to play Sheffield. The fix is set. Tonight is just a case of, as you say, a good performance, get those systems set for Friday night, and hopefully, you know, it would be, obviously Aaron will want them to win, but yeah, get through the game with a good performance is key.
Obviously, for the Bees tonight, it's a case of going out this season on a high and giving James Galazzi the send-off he deserves. As we look at the league table as of right now, the Leeds Knights obviously runaway champions. Milton Keynes Lions cut that gap to 8 points last night following a win against the Knights. The Phantoms are guaranteed to finish third. They will meet the Raiders next weekend in the quarterfinals. Sheffield 4, Swindon 5. The last bit of, well, table placings to be sorted out between Telford and Basingstoke. Basingstoke are currently away from Sheffield, knowing they must win and hope that the Telford Tigers lose to the Bristol Pitbulls tonight. The Bees, like I say, finished 10th this year. They cannot finish any lower. They cannot finish any higher. Tonight is all about pride and putting a 9th win in the column for the home section. The Bees line up tonight as follows. 2, Adam Rossbottom. 10, like I say, icing for the last time, James Galazzi. 15, Joe Baird. 17, Harry Harcup. 18, Ryan Webb. 19, Will Stead. 22, Dan Bradley. 23, Dominic Gabai. 24, Dan Rose. 27, Josh Smith. 38, Juha Lindgren. 51, JJ Pitchley. 65, Harvey Stead. 88, Josh Martin. 92, welcome back Alan Lack following his injury. 94, Stuart Mogg. 96, Brendan Walcombe, who was 3 goals away from 50. Could he do it tonight? And net minus 29, Matt Smittle. 84, Adam Goss. Tom, for the Bees, it's an almost different team you've seen since Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, the form's been so much better since Christmas. They've played some really good hockey, and yeah, tonight is, again, with the Bees, it's just about getting a send-off into the summer, get 2 points on the board and have something positive to pick up for September. For the Wildcats tonight, it's very different from usual. There's a couple of rested players this evening, and you'll notice them very early on here. 3, Balint Pekosdi. 8, Alfie Druitt. 11, Chris Jones. 12, Floyd Taylor. 13, Sam Bullis. 14, Dylan Lipsey. 16, Reed Sayers. 18, Loris Taylor. 24, Tyler Plews. 28, Stevie Whitfield. 61, Sam Godfrey. 71, Edgars Bebris. 72, James Smith, back from his own hand injury last night, I believe. Tom will correct me on that in a minute. Yep. 77, Ben Nethersell, and 91, Colby Tower. Netminders, number 30, Rennie Marr, who loves this rink this year, and 45, Dean Skins. Tom, like I said, the playoffs are next week, and 3 notable names they're missing are Aaron Nell, Russ Cowley, and second top point scorer in the league, Thomas Malasinski. Yeah, it's very much a case of rest those top guys. I think we'll see a heavy dose of the kind of younger guys like Dylan Lipsey, Alfie Druitt tonight. Jamie Smith, as you say, returned to the lineup last night after missing a few weeks with I believe a hand injury. So yeah, it's a very different lineup to what you'd usually see from the Wildcats. It's a very different lineup for what you will see on Friday night in Sheffield. So yeah, again, a chance for some of those younger guys to impress looking into next season.
It's one of those things we can't reiterate it enough tonight. Wildcats fans, if you're watching this and you're worrying that there's something wrong here with Nell and Malasinski not playing, this game for Swindon means absolutely nothing.
Yeah. This
is all a case of, as Tom said, getting systems down, which is something they need to do against the Sheffield Steel Dogs. The Steel Dogs are a very difficult team to play, both home and away. They've got one of the best away records in the league this year. I think it's only Milton Keynes and Leeds who have better ones this year, who've taken more points away from home. It's nothing to worry about. We think Dean Skins is starting tonight for the Wildcats because, again, you don't want to risk Rennie Marr being injured tonight, as the Wildcats are just maybe coming out on the ice. We don't know. They've been introduced. Referees this evening, Mr. James Irons, Mr. Stephen Matthews. They're assisted by Mr. Nathan Carmichael, Mr. Pavel Olchak. I think I said earlier in the year that we haven't had Stephen Matthews at all here in the hangar. We've now had him back-to-back weeks. It's one of those weird things.
Always the way, isn't
Always
it?
happens.
Always
You don't see someone for an entire year and then they're back 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
While we wait for the Wildcats to take to the ice, which they are now just doing, it gives me enough time to say you can join in the conversation this evening. Tag us at BeesMNL. Use the hashtag BeesMNL. It's your last chance to do it this year. Any questions, comments you have in, things you just want to say to producer Nick and make him feel better, do it, because I'm going to try not talking too much tonight because I've got a cold and I sound like I've swallowed razor blades. It's fantastic. It means I can't bully Nick too much this evening. He's loving it. Love you really, Nick. I have to be nice to him now. He's got the power to tell me I'm not back next year. As we just await the Bees on the ice, we have Anki Cam. I believe James Galazzi has to be leading the team out tonight for the last time.
He's either first or the last man on
He's
the ice,
either
isn't he?
first or last.
He's either first or last.
It's one of the things, Austin, Tom, as a neutral, not a Bees fan, let's say. The term legend is used a lot in sport in general, while James Galazzi might not be a legend of the sport in Britain as a whole. In terms of the sport in Bracknell, in black and gold for the Bees and the Hornets, James Galazzi is up there.
Yeah, he's a guy who's given his whole career to this club, to the Bees, to the hockey in Bracknell. He's a player that as an opposition fan you kind of love to hate. You don't love him when he's not on your roster and you have to play against him as the Bees come onto the ice.
The Bees led out tonight by Matt Smith also. I think we're going to see James Galazzi maybe at the back end here. There we go. I think we're going to get our James Galazzi tribute at the end of this game.
Yeah.
I always find these kind of retirements very interesting. I was at the South One playoff final last year, Streatham and Chelmsford, and Chelmsford had 5 players retire. And it was quite a nice touch where you had Chelmsford all line up, because it hadn't been announced before the game. They'd all lined up, did the whole on a lines on either side, and the Red Hawks went and joined them. So I'd be interested to see if the Wildcats do that tonight. It'd be kind of a nice thing,
it would be.
Wouldn't it? Yeah. Well, we're going to shut up for 2 minutes. We'll pass you over to our match night DJ for the evening, Scott Collier, who's on training for next 2 weeks' time in Coventry. For the national anthem, we'll be back in 2 minutes. Well, for one final time this year, we can say starting netminders first for our visitors this evening, the Swindon Wildcats. Starting in goal tonight is number 45, Dean Skins. Skins comes into the weekend with a 3-6-1 record, an 8.43 save percentage, 4.20 goals against average, 1 shutout all the way back at the start of the season, in 571 minutes in the crease. He was the loser here last time the Cats were in town when the Bees won on a Friday night. For the Bees at the other end, it's number 29, Matt Smittle. He comes into the weekend 4-9-4. He came in relief of Adam Goss on Friday night in Romford, in what wasn't the best night of the year for the Bees. He had a save percentage of 8.85, a 4.50 goals against average in 1,012 minutes in the crease. Like I said, use the hashtag BeesMNL, tag us at BeesMNL. Let us know your thoughts, comments, shout outs. Obviously, James Galazzi's retirement night, you get as many comments as you want in about Gaza. We'll read as many of them out as long as they're clean. Producing it, you're going to have to check those because I know there's going to be fans of other teams who maybe don't put clean ones in there. Stuck at home with COVID, no final game with the boys. Keep me entertained, Joe. Bring on September, Lucy Spalton. Yeah, don't worry, Lucy, you've got COVID. I sound like I've been eating razor blades. It's fantastic. We're all falling apart at just the right time.
Yeah.
Lucy Spalton, who should have been at Ali Pally as well this weekend, decided that, you know, home was nicer. Don't blame her.
Yeah.
Trying to get to Ali Pally on a Saturday and Sunday. No.
Yeah, unfortunate. That's a tough one, that is. That's tough.
I think the Bees had to do that going round to Romford and had to take the M25 on a Friday during rush hour. Did not go well.
No.
They turned up an hour before face-off.
Yeah.
Did Romford hold the face-off? No, they did not.
Home ice advantage, that, using the location to their benefit.
Absolutely. I don't think it made much difference with the Raiders 182. It is packed here tonight. James Galazzi's final game and the fans are out in force. Galazzi will take the opening draw. Mr. James Irons has the puck. And for the final time this season, we are underway as the Cats win the opening draw. For a minute there, I almost thought we were going to get an opening draw fight just for lols. The Cats win it from their own zone.
Wouldn't have been the first time those two had gone.
No, it would not. I believe it was a clip shared in the week or two to fight like that. Yeah. Where even Galazzi was nice enough to say he didn't get the best of the bully many times, maybe once, and of course that was the clip we found. Pukosny back up to the blue line for the Wildcats. Shot coming in, good save by Smittle off the leg. That kicked all the way out to Harkup on the left wing. Martin tips it ahead. Skins comes out of his net to play it, takes it away. Cats able to clear. Stead, as both teams go for a change. Should I say Harvey Stead? I am going to make sure I get this right most of the time tonight. He finally starts the rush. Long pass is tipped high up into the netting behind the Cats fans. We'll have a first break of play exactly a minute into the game. I'm taking no bets here. James Galazzi gets a point tonight.
I feel like there's going to be
there's going to be a phantom assist somewhere. Yeah. And if he does, that moves him up to 9th all-time in Bees points. So
motivation for him to get one then.
Motivation for a phantom point. We've all seen it. Face off just outside the B zone. Wildcats win it again. Tipped ahead. Tower. Chases the head shot from a tight angle. Seems to go off the shoulder of Smith, partly off the post as well. Bees get there first. Goodbye tries to clear it. It's kept in by Beveris at the blue line. Beveris' dump in is stopped by Harvey Stead. He sets Will away. And in turn moves it up to Walken. 3 away from 50. Cross-ice pass finds Goodbye. Goodbye backhand into cross goal. Through the crease, nobody there in a grey shirt. I'm going to call it grey, Tom, it's not black. Wildcats into the zone. Offside is called as Tower jumps the gun. We'll go just outside. Trying to work out here who the top point scorer is actually playing tonight for the Cats. I believe it's going to be Colby Tower with 65 points.
Yeah, it's Colby.
It's not a bad player to have still as your top point scorer when he's there with 8 power play goals and 33 on the year in total.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good first season in British hockey.
Obviously with the well, not confirmed rise in the import limit, even though every man and their dog knows it's coming. He's the kind of man that you would look at re-signing, particularly in the fact that it's a known quantity now.
Yeah, definitely. He's had it. Like I say, he's had a good season. He's worked really hard, and you know has put up some big goals for us and big points. So yeah.
Well, he almost single-handedly got the Cats back in the game last time they were here. Yeah. Shot from a tight angle. almost to Dylan Lipsey. Back in the 14 shirt, which the Wildcats had to unretire from his dad. Ross Bottom into the zone. Shot goes high over Skins. Bullis off the bench, takes it away from Pitchley. Lipsey, up ice, gets his pocket picked by Webb even, sorry. Too many face cages and too many 8s on our team. You thought I'd have got this right after all this year. No, still haven't. Wildcats clear, and that will get a length of the ice. Icing is waved off. Pecosny beats Harvey Stead to the park. Pecosny back up to the blue line, stepping in his please. Shot is blocked by Pitchley. Pitchley tries to get it away, and that is covered up after it takes a fun bounce off the skate with Joe Baird, and Smith will hold on. I forgot we're going to have an entire evening of dad dancing here, aren't we, Nick? Oh no. Wildcats win the draw, back up to the blue line. Blues. Down low to Pecosny, loses track of the puck for a second, and Pitchley will collect. Almost stretched past the lack, is picked off by Godfrey. Skins, round the back of his own net. Blues again, able to clear it just ahead enough. Turnover again. Hollistead gets his poke checked away by Loris Taylor. Bullis. Bees will look to clear. Pitchley across to Lack. Can't get there ahead of Godfrey. Baird. Through centre ice to Harkup. Harkup can't get away from two Wildcats. Godfrey is there to beat Harkup to the loose puck. Sayers looks to bring it out for the Wildcats. Cross-ice pass, finds Tower. He spins away from his man. Tower gets on the end of the loose puck, backhand towards goal. Loose in front, takes the bubble, up and in. What is it? The goal hasn't been signalled, now it has. 3:38 the goal there. Towers cross-come shot, takes a bounce, it goes over the leg of Smiddle into the net. The Wildcats lead.
It might be Towers' goal. I don't know who that hit. Chris Jones was in front of the net, as was a couple of these D-men. I'll have to have a look at the replay when it comes up.
Usually you get kind of a definitive answer from a referee that it's a goal, and there was nothing there, hence the confusion there.
We'll have to have a look.
The Wildcats do lead. Producing it will bring you that replay when we can at the next break in play.
Yeah. It's a bit of a scrappy one, but you've got to take it when you can. Yeah, exactly.
Tower once again tries to get the puck away from Bradley. That is cleared. Tower is given the goal, 34th of the year. Tower from Sayers and Smith is the goal. So Tower's 34th goal of the season. Walcombe over to Will Stead. Tries to go up to Goodbye. That's hit ahead. Walcombe collects. Tries to go round to Goodbye again. Bebris is there and clears. Rose almost gets it away from Sayers. Wildcat sent back. Walcombe will give chase on Whitfield. Whitfield manages to spin away from the American. Whitfield almost plays himself back into trouble there. Wildcats look to clear it with Lipsey. That will get a length of the ice. That will be icing. I will say this as well. I forgot to mention it earlier as he's on the ice. Floyd Taylor on the ice now. His last game here, he is leaving to Australia, I believe, after the end of the season.
Yeah, he's going off travelling with his fiancée.
Here's the goal. I think that comes off Joe Baird.
Yeah, I think it's just hit the pass across and it's just hit a skate and not a lot of...
It's bounced up. It might be Bradley. No, it's Dan Bradley. It looks like it's called Bradley's skate. Yeah. Bounced up and over Smith's padding in. An unfortunate one, but the Wildcats lead nonetheless. Floyd Taylor's testimonial is the 22nd. 22nd of April. I got the wrong week.
It's the Saturday after the finals weekend.
Saturday after Coventry, so the Wildcats fans go there. I might even pop down for that one. I've got to see if I can get that Saturday free. Yeah.
Some good names signed up for that.
There always are for those testimonials. There's been enough players in Swindon.
Yeah, exactly.
They're able to get some quality.
Yeah.
It's a similar thing for James Galazzi's testimonial here last year.
Yeah.
Mogg up ice to Ross Bottom. Webb slides it across to Lindgren. Lindgren manages to bring it away from Pecosny. And the Wildcats just swarm Lindgren enough to knock the puck clear. Smith holding Floyd Taylor up against the boards. Finds Bebris. Up left hand side, chipped ahead. That's not to take. Pecosny almost in there for Loris Taylor pass. Wilstead on one of his marauding missions that he's been prone to since Christmas. Pitchley collects, up ice to Smith. Smith tries to tip it on, Netherseller's there to get in the way. Collected by Jamie Smith. Roundaboards, Harvestead keeps it in the blue line, shot towards goal, tip in front, and that goes wide of everything. Good stick lift from Pitchley there, takes it away from Wildcats D-man. More turnovers than a bakery at current time. Wilstead ahead to Josh Smith. Smith shot from the tight angle, takes the deflection, rebound in front, D-Skids tries to cover it up. The Bees fans think it's in, we're still playing, we've got no goal given. Nick, get the replay.
What has happened there?
No one knows.
No idea.
Hark up. If that's a save, that's a hell of a save from D-Skids. He was in the goal. Lack. Held up by Nethercell. Smith comes over to help, tries to clear. Kept in by Wilstead. Down low again. Harkup will give chase. Jamie Smith able to knock it clear enough of Harkup. Bullis sweeps in. Bullis shot towards goal. Bounce off the backboard. Out the other side. Harvestead gets the loose puck first. Bees will do just enough to clear it. Up ice. That will be icing. Over to producer Nick. Here we go. The shot off the backboard. That is fantastic.
That is an unbelievable save from Skins.
Outrageous.
The shot's taken a deflection off, I think, Neversell's skate, and it's obviously then come around the side of the net, and he's somehow managed to get a paddle on that.
The amount of times you see in a season where that gets punched into the net,
yeah,
is insane. I mean, we've seen enough. Hang on a minute, they are going to talk to the goal judge here. They're going to have a word with the goal judge here. Now, this is where we need like a zoom and enhance function here.
Yeah.
The shot comes in from the right-hand side, takes the deflection away. That
doesn't look like it crosses the line.
No goal. That is the correct call. For a minute there, I was worried.
Yeah, for a moment, I feel like that's the right call. I think that is a save. Yeah, a fantastic save at that.
Like I said, the amount of times we've seen those get punched or kicked. I mean, you've literally seen one get kicked in from this angle already this evening. That is remarkable from DC, and just for the awareness to keep that out. It's almost as if he's managed to get his glove back around himself and sort of plant it on the line, not to cover it up, but literally just to hold it up enough to get it away. Bradley's shot from the point is blocked in front. And that won't be kept in by Baird at the blue line. The Bees will go the other way. Bradley up ice. Blues with the stick lift. Harkup will give chase. Obviously icing waved off there. Godfrey slides it over to Josh Martin. Bees with it. Baird from the blue line. Shot through traffic. Another tip in front. That goes wide this time. Tower first to the loose puck. Colby Tower decides he's going to do it all on his own. Speed through one, speed through two. Colby Tower still with it. Shot. Good save. Matt Smitzel. Rebound. Another good save for Smitzel. Third time's the charm. Poked away by Galazzi. Colby Tower decides, I'll do it myself. Galazzi at the other end. That shot is blocked in front by a Wildcat. Once again, Tower poked away by Harvestead momentarily. Tower tries to go cross ice. Rose intercepts. Walkham sends Gabai, who is wide open. Dom Gabai snaps the shot over the crossbar. Not the man you'd really want to be giving that much space to.
No, not really.
Walkham to the front of the net. Shot saved by Skins. Rebound loose. Harvestead can't keep it in. And the Bees will reset. Cats go for a change. Mogg from the right-hand side. Up ice to Gabai. Tips it ahead. Rose can't get past Bebris, which is, it's trying to get round a mountain, let's face it. Wildcats into the zone, shot snapped on goal, wide of the net. Sminnell gets back in position, drew it, knocks it back round to Lipsy. Lipsy tries to get away from Dan Rose. Dylan Lipsy spent most of his year playing for the Wildcats 2 in NHL 2. They lost their quarterfinal last week to the Haringey Huskies. Not doing themselves a disservice, considering the Huskies are in the final today. Goodbye. Away from three, drops to the Harvestead, tic-tac-toe pass here, Walcombe shot, brilliant, Brendan Walcombe. We said he needs three, there's one. 9:15 the time on the clock, and the Bees tie the game up for Brendan Walcombe.
That's a top finish from Walcombe. And when we look at it on the replay now, it's good.
It's from an obscene angle as well.
Good movement. I mean, he just drifts into the space there. The D-man's just stepped up and that's right under the crossbar. There's nothing Dean Skins can really do about that.
I think the problem there for the Wildcats is it's the D-man, it's the two forwards all going out to goodbye, knowing goodbye is a threat, and the passing needs to be crisp and accurate, and it just was at the right time.
Yeah.
That, and I won't say this in a slanderous way, but we've both watched Dean Skins for a year, and he's not the tallest netminder in the world.
No.
Brendan Walcombe goes to 48 goals on the year. I believe it's going to be Harvey Stead and goodbye with the assists. Wilstead now. Drops it off to Baird. Baird shot from the blue line, tipped in front, away from Skins. Really again. Bees score a second! Two in quick succession off the Joe Baird shot that's tipped in front. And I believe that's Juha Lindgren reacts fastest and gives the Bees the lead 9:48. It's the shot from Baird from the blue line first, which is blocked in front.
Yeah, it's blocked by his own. It is blocked by Lindgren, I think, who then puts it away.
Is it Lindgren or is it Webb? That's the question.
I think
it's 2D face cage and 2D 8s. It's Ryan Webb. We'll get it right. The crowd, the producers go wild. That's their shirt off the back. Ryan Webb with his 10th goal of the year. Wildcats with it. Jones slides it across the Blues. That will go towards the Bees net. Wilstead is there to clear.
One of those tough ones on that goal for Dean Skins there, where the block in front of him, basically, he's committed to the initial shot.
It's absolutely barbecued.
Yeah.
Wilstead slides it to Pitchley. Pitchley shot, kicked away by Skins. Wildcats the other way. Tower, poke check by Smithell. He had to get that perfect, and he did. Lack tries to clear. Wildcats do want to keep it at the blue line. Flip towards goal. Smithell will cover and lose it for Bradley. Webb from Wilstead. Webb from Wilstead. Joe Baird has been robbed of an assist there.
Yeah, I feel like Baird, he'll be wanting that one added on later.
Wilstead having a hell of a season. That's now 54 points for him this year, in a role that he hasn't really played. He's been forward and D-man at times this year. Ryan Webb goes to 20. So confirmation that first goal was Walcombe from Harvey Stead and goodbye. The second goal, Webb from Wilstead. 2 goals in 30 seconds. And 3 goals in the game where we thought it was starting rather slowly. Here we go, it's picking up. Hark up, cross-ice pass, finds Bradley. He'll lead the rush ahead. Tries to go around Smith. Knocked loose. Harkup collects the loose puck. Goes back to Jamie Smith. He clears Lipsy. Bees collect. Mogg. Both teams go for a change. 8 minutes 15. Walcombe starting from his own goal line. Sprees is pounding Lawrence Taylor. Tries to set it off for goodbye. That is offside as it hits the coach on the back. Dan Rose jumps the gun. Will come just outside the zone. Face off won by the Bees. Harvey said turnover in front. That is criminal. And Sam Bullis with the easiest goal he'll score this year. 11:57 tie game again off a massive error from the Bees D-man.
Well, have a look at the replay. As you say, it's not a great support turnover. Sam Bullis wide open. He hasn't scored too many this year, but that's a gift. That is a gift from the Bees. Sam
Bullis is one of those players where he might not score often. When he does, they're usually class.
Yeah, he's a really good finisher for a guy who's not known for goal scoring.
And that's his 7th of the season. I believe that's going to go down as Bullis assisted Pekovsky. I await being told I'm wrong on that one.
I'd agree with you. But
Webb tries to knock it clear. Joe Baird. Away over to Ross Bottom. Harvey Stead collects. Baird at the left-hand side. Cats seem to be setting up in a sort of 1-3-1 D when the Bees are trying to break out. I'm not sure it's working right now. It feels like one of these systems that should be quickly and hastily thrown in a bin. We say Sam Bullis obviously doesn't score many, but he scores class ones. I think we can both agree that he's responsible for one of the greatest goals we've ever seen in a ring.
In Basingstoke
in
away.
Basingstoke. Goal that everyone will enjoy because it's against the Bison.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, a common theme there.
Common theme, everyone hates Basingstoke.
Well, in this ring tonight.
In this ring they do. The goal so vile that it made Michael Wales retire, that's all I'll say. Wildcats try and knock it ahead, intercepted by Lack. Bradley. Cross to Wilstead. Bullis from Picozzi is the official Cat's second goal. Knocked ahead, skins out of his net to play it, settles it down for Clues. Round to Godfrey. Tower. Looks to get on his horse, spins away from Pitchley. Goes back the other way. Bees knocking ahead quite. Oh, sorry, Wildcats knocking ahead. Bees quite happy to take the loose puck. Wilstead off the boards to Glack. Bounces over his stick. Now goes back to Godfrey. Godfrey, another silly turnover. Josh Smith now. Smith in front. Waits for Skins to make the move. Another brute save. No! Josh Smith gets the recipient of a gift now. 13-21. You wait for one goal and 5 come along in the space of 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's another really poor defensive zone turnover. This time from the Wildcats. We'll get the replay. I mean, Godfrey just doesn't see. I don't think he sees Josh Smith in behind. Skins makes the first save, it just comes loose and it's a tap in. Not going to miss from there.
Skins did very well on the first save. We'll have to give him that as well, obviously, but it just sits just nice enough for Josh Smith, who's there to knock it home and give the Bees the lead. Smith, his 5th of the season, an injury-plagued campaign he's had. And also a change in role really for him, where he's been this third line forward, and again, scoring hasn't been his responsibility, much like Sam Bullis. Floyd, Taylor, around the back of the net. Harvey Stead and Harry Harkup decide to take each other out. Taylor goes back the other way. Back up to Smith, I think. It is Smith that time. Lipsy, knocked off by Harvey Stead. Mogul collect. Goes around to Martin. Druitt. Round to Lipsy. Back up to the blue line. Druitt, shot through traffic, blocked off the skate of Martin. Harkup will turn and go the other way. Knocked off the puck. Nethercell collects. Wildcats happy to just calm everything down for a minute. I think we need it at the moment. As you can see from that shot there, we have got the James Galazzi Memorial Wall, as I'm calling it for the night. Collection of James Galazzi shirts through the years, sitting at that end of the rink, and there are some up here. You can see them there just in the top left as well. We have got some in front of us on the balcony here. Bradley, Loris Taylor in the corner. Bradley knocks it clear into Bullis. Bullis back up into the low slot. Cosby can't get under control. Goodbye brings it away, 2-on-2. Cross ice to Walcombe. Walcombe can't get the puck under control. Rose can't clean it up. The Wildcats have a chance to break. Bradley has to poke it away from Picozzi. Does. Beveris following it in. That will be offside as Picozzi drags it out of the zone. 4:56 to go here in the first period. And don't forget, you can let us know your thoughts on the night as we go through it. Tag us at BeesMNL. Use the hashtag BeesMNL. And obviously,
I think they gave a bit of a phantom goal to Chris Jones on that Bullis one, but it's now been changed.
Yes.
It's now been changed to.
It's now been changed. Said, we've got the best view up here. Chris Jones wasn't even on the ice. Yes, use the hashtag BeesMNL. I almost read that properly. I was trying to read it at the best of saying the goal had been changed.
I've said a lot that Chris Jones is an underrated player. He's not that underrated.
Tower into the zone. Drops off for Stevie Whitfield. What's he doing up here? Harvey Stead will settle it down from behind his own net. And finds Will Stead. Cross ice. Pass finds his way over to Dan Rose on the left wing. He will move away from Whitfield. Into the slot. Walcombe can't get there. Sticks in the lane for the Wildcats. Tower the other way. Sets Sayers on his horse. Tower back across to Jones this time. That misses everybody and falls to Walcombe. Walcombe across to Wilstead. Wilstead at the right hand side away from one. Drops off at goodbye. No one there. Tower the other way. 4 minutes to go. Tower stepping in. Joe Bed beat. Stick handers away round there. Over the bar. That was a very nice move from Tower. Walcombe collects the loose puck. Bees change. Walcombe give him space and let him cook. Walcombe up the right hand side. Toe drag through nobody, but Godfrey there to clean up. Wildcats the other way again. Mogg with 2 Wildcats company. Druitt can't get there ahead of the Bees captain. Baird, cross-ice pass finds Ross Bottom. Up the right-hand side, Ross Bottom drops it off for Webb again. Webb shot, saved by Skins. Webb is bundled down, penalty coming on the Wildcats. Hooking is the call, 16:38 the time of the penalty. And the Bees will have the first power play of the night. That one felt fairly obvious.
Yeah, I think Tyler Blues is maybe not disagrees with that, but there was a hook in there, I think.
It felt like one of those ones where he had to prevent the shot.
Yeah, exactly. It's the classic, you take one for the team.
Well, the Bees head to the man advantage. 24 Tyler Blues. 2 minutes for hooking, 16:38. The Bees power play 40 goals on the season coming into this weekend. 19.32%. Wildcats penalty kills given up 40 goals before last night. 78.61%. Which I believe is somewhere in the upper end of the mid-table pack. Bees with it. Wilstead. Slid across to Goodbye. Wilstead. Goodbye. Shot through traffic, blocked in front. Goodbye down to Wilstead. Step cross-ice pass, Walcombe. Steps in from a tight angle, Walcombe slides it across in front, loose in front again, Skins gets back to cover up. Almost a disaster there for the Wildcats. It's James Galazzi in the front of the net. We said there could be a phantom point coming. Might not be very phantom at all.
No, it all got a bit scrambly there around Dean Skins' net, but he manages to cover the puck up and get a face-off. Chance to get a change in for the Wildcats and just reset.
Face off to the right of Skins, 1:26 left on the man advantage. Wildcats win the draw. Whitfield looks to get it out of the corner. Wilstead manages to knock it clear. Whitfield gets there ahead of Rose. Look to kill time, knocked loose again. Wildcats able to get it under control. They will try and clear it. Nope, that's blocked down by Wilstead. He finds Rose behind the goal. Galazzi back to Wilstead. He can't get it under control. Bottle's under his stick and out. The Bees will reset. Under a minute left on the man advantage. Goodbye, playing in a face cage. That's really throwing me. Obviously, he took a stick to the face last week against Bristol. Goodbye into the zone. Shot from a tight angle, off the shoulder of Skins and out the other side. That finds his way back to Mogg. Jones does his best to try and fill the passing lane. Harvestead will set up. Wildcats go for a change. Long stretch pass to Ross Bottom. Holds up. Drops off of Harvestead. He'll step in from the blue line. Tries to drop it for the on-rushing Lindgren, but comes off the skate of, I believe that's Sam Bullis.
I think it was Floyd Taylor's skate hit.
It was one of them. It was 12 and 13.
Yeah, it was Floyd Taylor's skate that came off.
Webb into the zone. Spins away from Godfrey. Godfrey decides to go no further. Lindgren. Wildcats return to full strength. Back to Harvestead from the face-off dot. Shot from a tight angle. Wide of the net. Wildcats with it. Pekosdi leaves it for Bullis. Knocked away from Bullis, but it comes back to the Hungarian stick. Shot from a tight angle. Saved by Smittle. Momentum takes Bullis through.
Momentum and a bit of Harvestead, I think. Possibly.
Momentum and a bit of Harvestead. No hard feelings there. No. Both players kind of give it the
big smile.
Big smile, move on. No one wants to do anything dumb tonight. 1:05 left in the first period. I am rather disappointed that with no Danny tonight. We're not going to get to use the sweet Caroline counter. Galazzi wins the draw. Bradley knocked away. Loris Taylor with it. Bradley comes back and grabs the puck. Final minute of first period. Harkup away from Plews. Finds Joe Baird. Good work from Harry Harkup. Baird's pass is away from everybody. Icing called. 45.8 left in the first. Face off to the left of Smithell. Won by Galazzi, held up against the linesman. Bradley able to bring it away. Bradley up to Martin. Martin with Whitfield to beat. Whitfield as well to just usher him into the far corner. That will be held up. Kill some valuable seconds here at the end of the period. Wildcats able to bring it away. Just under 30 to go. Wildcats ahead. Chris Jones holds off his man. Shot at the side angle on the side of the net. Smithell covers up for the second time asking. 20.6 to go. Another face-off in the Bees zone. Is Will Grigg on fire still? Who knows? Bees bring it away. I'm surprised no one has turned that into a hockey chant yet. Someone must do. If you can make Will Grigg a hockey chant, there's got to be players who can.
I mean, we Swindon do, but that player hasn't scored yet tonight. It's Chris Jones. As in CJ's on fire.
That does not work. Wildcats happen to see the rest of this period out in what from out of nowhere became very eventful. 5 goals in it. The Bees lead by the odd goal. 3-2 here after 20 minutes in a packed crowd being treated to a spectacular game so far. We'll be back in about 15 minutes with all the stats from the first period. Da, da, da. Nick was literally rather grumpy there, waiting for me to come back. Apologies for that, everyone. 24. Danny Purchase here in spirit regardless. As the Bees rejoin us on the ice for the second period. Shots on goal in that first period. 6 on Matt Smithell. 7 on Dean Skins. Some lovely save percentages coming there. These goals in that period come from Brendan Walker, Ryan Webb and Josh Smith. And the Wildcats from Colby Tower and Sam Bullis. As the Cats rejoin us as well. This has a real feel of last game of the season, what's a defence?
Yeah, it does. I think, obviously both teams want to win, they both want to perform, but equally they've got one eye on, the end of the season now. Obviously Swindon have an eye on the playoffs, and the Bees, no one's going to want to go into the summer with an injury.
Yeah, I think that's like that. You say it's what's a defence, it's one of those things, there's a game there's nothing malicious in this. There's been very little in the way of hitting, or at least, hits that you would say were borderline or over the top. It always feels like a dry run for Floyd's testimonial in a couple of weeks. As the Wildcats win the opening draw for the second period. Godfrey knocks it up ice to Pecosdy. His tip only finds Joe Baird. Beans cycling around, turned over almost. Bullis tries to jump into the passing lane. Mogg knocks it clear to Galazzi. Off the boards, Beans are able to clear the zone. Harkup tries to get there ahead of Plews. Plews stands his man up. Pecosdy from his own goal line. Over to Godfrey. Shot towards goal. Skins happy to just block it away. Godfrey cleans up. Loris Taylor up ice. Puck finds his way almost to Pecosdy. Martin is there to intercept. Bees start the rush the other way. Stuart Mogg up the left-hand side. Waits, goes to the cross-ice pass off the skate of Blues. Wilstead off the blue line, slaps into the corner for Walken. Walken away from Godfrey. Tries to drop it off to Goodbye. Kept in by Wilstead again, finds Walken again. Walken from the low slot. Shot saved by Skins, who holds on. Good puck movement there from the Bees on that one. Wildcats, it's a zonal defensive system they're running in this period, at least to start with. There was a lot of passing your man off to the next guy rather than everyone follow the puck, which was the case of the first period. Yeah,
they've obviously made some tweaks in the in-break to the system they're running. Because obviously there were times where they were getting a bit exposed in that first period.
Rose with Bebris for company down here in the far corner. Rose tries to knock it clear, intercepted by Sayers. He can't clear it, only as far as Harvey Stead. He finds Rose. Download to Walcombe again. Walcombe shot from an obscene angle, saved by Skins. Can't cover it though. Whitfield there to clean up and get it away from Gabai. Sayers, cross-ice past the Tower. Tower on his horse. Will Stead stops him dead. Sets Walcombe the other way. Walcombe gets poke checked by Whitfield. Whitfield in turn crosses up to Gabai, who somehow managed to keep that in. Gabai looks for a man, floats the pass across Rose. I don't know if that's a miss from Rose or a great save by Skins. It's one or the other. Punk finds his way back down to Gabai. Gabai down low to Walcombe. Can't get him out from under his skate. Tower finds Whitfield. Bebris. Up ice to Sayers. He no-look passes it to Jones. 2-on-1 here if he plays it well. Right, Jones waits his man. Good save from Matt Smithell. Gabai can't get away from Sayers. Knocked down low to Jones. No one in a white shirt for company. Jones gives it up. Walcombe. Skate in, he's going to skate straight at Ben Nethercell. Shot gloved by Skins at the top of the paint. He'll hold on. 2:28 gone here in the second period. Don't forget, you can use the hashtag BeesMNL. Tag us at BeesMNL. It's your last chance to give me and producing it grief until the end of the summer. If producing it lets me back. Shot from Lingren off the base of the post. Bounces away, Wildcats clear. Smithell has to play it, no icing. Bradley finds Mogg from his own hash marks. Lingren up to Ross Bottom. Collected by Bradley, he knocks it ahead. Skins pushes it in the corner for Jamie Smith. Smith drew it up to Lipsy. Bradley blows a tie, Lipsy will jump in to collect. Lipsy tries to drop it off for, I believe, Floyd Taylor. Can't quite pull it off. Beans the other way. Lingren over to Webb. Webb gets it under control finally. Ryan Webb, that misses everything and wide. Jamie Smith brings it clear and knocks it up high into the bench. The Wildcats maybe got away with one there.
Yeah, there was I think they got a bit caught a bit puck watching on D there, and with a man open, potentially a bit of a chance gone begging there for the Bees.
Lipsy, Druitt and Smith, they're under 18?
Yeah, I think Jamie Smith and, I could be wrong here, Jamie Smith and Dylan Lipsy I think are 17, I think Alfie Druitt's 16.
Frankly terrifying if the Wildcats keep them under control. Obviously they've got the right system there where they can play south too and play up. And speaking of the double, Bullis with a drop pass, shot, that misses everything wide. Pitchley, cross ice pass, icing signalled. Whitfield has to play, Godfrey has to play it. Too many long hairs players on this team.
Yeah.
Clues. Tries to go to Loris. Kept in at the blue line by Smith. Smith to Pitchley. Down low. Waits at Skins. Brilliant save from Skins. Pitchley held up by Godfrey to make the shot a bit more difficult for the veteran forward. Godfrey now from the left-hand side. Up ice to Bullis. That doesn't go to tape. Harvey Stead tries to clear it. Instead bounces off a linesman. Bullis knocks it ahead once again, straight to Harvey Stead. Bees the other way. Smith tips it on, fires into the corner. Bees will change. Godfrey. Stretch pass attempted for Sayers, tipped ahead by Martin. And that'll be collected by Will Stead behind the Bees goal. Wildcats the other way. Jones into the zone. 2 Bees to beat, and neither of them can't get past either of them, I should say. Smith up the right hand side, drop pass now to Galazzi, cross ice finds Will Stead. Stead behind the Cats net. Galazzi back up to Dan Bradley on the blue line. Shot towards goal is blocked by Will Stead. Stead spins away, finds Galazzi wide open. Galazzi works a shot. That goes wide. Galazzi has a chance. Taken away by Clues. Clues finds Nethercell. Nethercell, long stretch pass. That comes off the boards. And that will be ice and will come all the way back. 14:43 to go in the second period.
Plenty of zone time there for the Bees. They're cycling the puck quite well, and the Wildcats again trying to keep their shape and just force the Bees outside and kind of try and keep traffic out of the front of the net.
They're trying to keep it at tight angles, but there are occasions where they're maybe pinching over a little too far to one side and creating a bit too much space.
Yes, yeah.
The benefits of doing it is they're doing it with a weaker line, but now this Bees top unit is out. They can't be doing that.
No.
As I say, goodbye, collects, spins away, tries to jump off to Walken. Jones in the passing lane, Sayers able to bring it clear. Tower, as the Cats D pairing managed to get a change. Tower spins away from one check. Goodbye, tries to take it off, and Tower still with it from a tight angle. Tower spins away from Goodbye again, charges towards goal. He'll go backhand, is escorted out the other way. Bebris drops it off for Druitt. Druitt shot swallowed up by Smithell. He'll hold on. .14.10 to go in the second. Face off to the right of Smithell. Mogg brings the puck away, so the Bees win the draw. Flip high into the Wildcat zone. Whitfield plays it well, knocks it out to Druitt. He'll set it down for Lipsy. Lipsy can't get around, I believe, Stuart Mogg there. Rose. Bees start from their own goal line. Shipped ahead by Mogg, skins out of the net to play it. Sends it over to Bebris. Bebris, cross-ice pass finds Whitfield. He can't bluff it down to himself. That bounces away to Mogg. Mogg tries to go to Goodbye. Bebris jumps in the passing lane there. He somewhat telegraphed what was coming. Bebris down by the Bees goal line. Bebris from a tight angle. Comes in front. Smithell will hold on at the second time of asking. That was something from nothing off a very telegraphed cross-ice pass.
Yeah, and you know, I think you saw there a bit of Edgar Bebris the forward and Edgar Bebris the D-man. He read the play well as from a defensive standpoint, and then with the team changing behind him, kind of went back into, obviously he was previously a forward and went back into that mode to kind of keep the puck on the board to give the team chance.
It's something the Cats have done the last couple of years now. So Jan Kostel made that move from forward to D-man. I was sceptical that Eddie Bebris would do it. I always find that when players do that, that first season in particular, there is that case of, I want to jump in the play.
Yeah.
I've seen Will Stead do it a lot for the Bees when he's played D. It has its advantages, but it also has its drawbacks.
Yeah, and I think particularly early on there was that with Bebris and, as you say, with Stead as well. I think both of them have kind of started to work out when to do that now and when to use that and when to kind of stay back. So, you know, it takes a bit of time to develop. Particularly having played your entire career in one position and then move to another one. Yeah.
Because the Bees ice the puck. Yeah, I think it's one thing. It's muscle memory. You're so used to, I do this.
Yes, exactly.
And now it's like, no, I can't do.
Exactly.
So I think if you could survive that first 2-3 months of they're going to make errors, then you know it's a success. Plews with it for the Cats. Down low to Picosdy. Picosdy spins away from Bees D-man, back up to Plews on blue line. He dumps it into the corner. Harvestead beats his man there. Spins away from Picosdy, sent back. Bradley loses a stick. Rossbottom will have to go and play it. He takes it away from one Wildcat forward, but loses it to another. Flicked in by Bullis. Bees happy to set up. Puck gets a lucky bounce to Rossbottom. Webb into the Cat zone. One man to beat, drops it off for Rossbottom. Rossbottom to the front of the net. Lindgren couldn't get on the end of it. Skins does well to bat it away. Tower up ice to Sayers. Sayers steps in, shot on goal, saved by Smithell. Loose in front, that one goes in. Smithell unable to cover it up as it goes through his shoulder. 27:56, the time of the Wildcats' third goal of the evening.
That all starts with an absolutely lovely pass out from Colby Tower into Reed Sayers. Sayers with plenty of speed and space off the wing, gets his shot off, and it just sneaks through the 5-hole on Smithell, and we're tied again at 3.
It's one of those very unlucky ones. Willstead does his best to get back there.
Yeah, he's almost got it. Almost got it.
Exactly like we said earlier with the Skins on. Skins gets back there, makes that save. Willstead does the exact same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And can't help but just push it over the line.
No, exactly. And you know, Smithell got a big piece of that, and it's just trickled through. It's a good shot from Sayers, and he just couldn't quite keep it keep it from going over the line.
Reed Sayers' 13th goal of the season ties this game back up at 3. Bees cleared the zone. No icing as it goes straight to these Skins. Nethersell held up by Pitchley. Sayers sets it over to Tower. Tower at the left-hand side, one-handing it away from Joe Baird. Baird does well to knock the puck loose. Sayers from Godfrey and Tower, the third Cats goal. The Bees stretch pass, Pitchley. Looks for Lack, and that misses everything. Goes out the other side. Josh Smith collects, spins towards goal. Shot cross goal. Skins stretches forward. I don't think he needed to. That would have been interesting if the Beast player had gotten on the end of it, though. Drew it, collects the puck. Away from Pitchley. Goes at the D-man. Mogg does well to just flip it away. Smith takes a heavy hit. Bees stretch pass. Smith does well to knock it down the head of Josh Smith, I should say. Smith on Smith violence. Mogg knocks it clear of Floyd Taylor. Josh Smith again. Lipsy comes over to help this time. Wilstead. Over to Mogg. Mogg steps in. Over the blue line. Slid over to Bradley. Bradley around James Smith. Bradley back of the net. Goes back to Mogg. Mogg's shot doesn't beat the first man. Lipsy with the block. Galazzi collects the puck from the Bees zone. Bees go back again. Martin from centre ice. Chipped ahead. Straight into Skins' pads. He covers up from the on-rushing Galazzi. 10-10 to go in the second period. And what has been an eventful game. 3-3 now. Something I think everyone would have kind of expected going into this, again with nothing for either side. Bullis wins the draw. Bebris takes a hit from Martin. Still with it though, just Bebris. Finds Whitfield. Whitfield will lead the rush, something that isn't usually said. His pass is stopped by Bradley.
He scored last night, he's clearly got that nose for goal.
Second goal of the season, Stevie Whitfield.
Clearly got a nose for being more offensive after that.
Might as well, last weekend of the regular season. Well, he's off again. Whitfield over at the centre ice line. Realises he's gone too far and dumps it in. Shot from a tight angle, goes straight through. Whitfield again from the hash mark, saved by Smiddle. He comes up for the second time of asking Stevie Whitfield's sniper is something that has apparently started.
Yes, yes.
Both teams go for changes. Face off to the left of Smiddle. Won by Jones. Wildcats back to Whitfield. Bebris. Shot towards goal is blocked. Harveystead able to clear it. Doesn't leave the zone. Wildcats knock it back in. Smiddle pushes it behind the net to Beck. Bounces away from Pitchley. Wildcats with it. Sayers gets his stick lifted. Bees start the rush the other way. Walcombe at speed. Tries to drop it off for Goodbye, sticking away in. Rose finds Goodbye anyway, bounces over Goodbye's stick. Whitfield collects, sends it round the boards. Bebris passes it to Stephen Matthews, and then sails on going around the boards to Whitfield. Whitfield from his own goal line, stretch pass up ice, finds his way over to Chris Jones eventually. Jones into the B zone, spins away from one D-man. Tries to find Bebris, does as it takes a bobble. Bebris takes a hit from Wilstead. Flips it behind the Bees' goal. Wildcats change. Harveystead starts to rush up ice, finds Goodbye. Into the zone. Goodbye, hit check from Whitfield, those two having previous from this year. Webb. Finds Goodbye again. Goodbye spins away from Bebris. Webb doesn't pass to Walcombe, who had the freedom of the low slot here. Wilstead, shot is blocked by Lipsy again. Wilstead. Pass somehow finds a way to Harveystead. Tip in front from Webb, saved by Skins. Not sure how much he knew about that. It was a great tip in front from Ryan Webb. Bebris with it now. Whitfield. Up ice. Wilstead collects. Wilstead looking for a man. Finds Ryan Webb. Into the zone. Lindgren spins away from Druitt, tries to go back to Webb. Whitfield jumps into play. Central pass, cleared away. That almost goes through everybody. Apologies if you heard that on the mic. It was a shot from a tight angle from Lindgren. Came off the skate of Whitfield, and he almost pantses his own net line.
I mean,
Skins sharp to that.
A bit of Stevie Whitfield's two-touch practice there, almost as he almost sideswoops that past his own netminder. Yeah, good reactions from Dean Skins, it has to be said, on that one. We've had a couple of those tonight with players
so far.
knocking pucks in their own goals and turnovers and all sorts.
Cats win the draw from Bullis. Godfrey from his own goal line. Stopped momentarily by Wilstead. Please fire it back in. Skins pushes over to Plews. Godfrey. Pass through the middle to Bullis. Bullis slides it to his left and Pecosdi. Shot from a tight angle, goes through everything out the other side. Pitchley collects. And sets Josh Smith on his way. Smith steps at Plews. Plews with a stick in the lane, knocks it clear. Pecosdi. His pass is behind Bullis. Bullis will collect, however. Godfrey and Plews with a couple of passes across to each other. Plews looks for a man up ice. Tipped ahead by Loris Taylor. Puck takes a bounce on the boards and nearly goes away from Will Stead. Stead from behind his own net. Up ice to Mogg, tipped ahead. Lack Sayers making friends. Godfrey can't get past Harkup. Brilliant work from there from Harkup, take it away from Plews as well. Steps in, Harkup finds a shot, blocked in front by Skins, puck still loose, Martin knocks it clear. Skins is swimming, Harkup back up to the blue line, Mogg through traffic, that is blocked in front by Plews. Tower able to bring it clear. Finds Jones. And the Wildcats happy just to calm everything down again.
Yes, yeah, all got a bit frantic in the last kind of couple of shifts there.
Jones spins away, goes into traffic then, over to Tower. Cats will change D-men. Dropped off to Tower, finds Jamie Smith. Tries to go down low, no one there in a white shirt. Webb will collect. Webb almost gets his stick lifted, holds one flat forward off. Tower comes in and takes the puck off his stick. But he can't quite clear the zone. Puck falls to a wide open Chris Jones. Chris Jones shot saved by Smiddle, rebound loose, B's clear. Nethercell shot again from a tight angle, misses everything out the other side. Martin able to clear the zone. Nethercell steps over centre ice, his pass is deflected, finds Martin, tips ahead to Walcombe, his pass is also intercepted. Jamie Smith ahead to Tower, he kicks it on. Mogg will beat Druitt to the puck. Chance for an overload here. Walcombe up the left-hand side. Tries to drop off a guy, goes himself. Walcombe behind the net. Walcombe wraparound shot, tight angle, off the glove of Skins and behind. Not sure that was the right move personally. Lipsy just looks to clear the zone. Baird coughs it straight back up to Lipsy inside the B zone this time. Baird also loses the stick in the process. Lipsy shot kicked away by Smittle. Now we have another broken stick. One drop, one broken. B's into the zone. Brendan Walcombe, the other end. Brendan Walcombe did Skins. We saw that move last week. The arm is up from Stephen Matthews. Penalty shots. Brendan Walcombe pulled this move off last week against Bristol. It was lovely. He went for it again. I'm not sure which D-man it was. I think it might have been Stevie Whitfield.
I think it was Bebris who just got a hand on him, kind of turned him as he was going into the net. And yeah, penalty shot. If you're going to give the penalty there, it's got to be a penalty shot. It's
got to be a penalty shot. I'm not sure if you're a Wildcats fan, this is the man you want to see stepping up to take a penalty shot.
No, the guy on 48 goals going on to this, at this point.
Heading into this one. Brendan Walcombe with a penalty shot on Dean Skins. I must admit there was no arguments from the Wildcats bench there at all.
I just noticed this. We've only got one ref on the ice.
Yes, we do. Walcombe skates in from his right, steps in on goal, shot saved by Skins. Puck don't lie. Yes, well spotted. James Irons has left us again. Now James Irons was here 2 weeks ago and seemed to pull his calf. I don't know if we've had another recurrence of that.
Potentially, yes. I mean,
or if something has happened. I can't see him anywhere at the moment.
Yeah, Steve Matthews is currently refereeing this game solo with the two linesmen.
Face off right to Skins. Bullis wins it.
It was a good move, good patience from Walcombe, but Skins stayed with him and closed down that gap and tried to go 5-hole.
He didn't commit early, which is a mistake that I find a lot of netminders make on penalty shots.
Experienced move there from Dean Skins, to be fair. He's been around a long time and kind of he's faced probably a lot of penalty shots over his career and just kind of knows don't go down too soon.
Rose brings it in, loses out of Bebris. I think as well with penalty shots, with the way the National League's been this year with the use of Instat and filming of games, teams know a lot about opposition now, and they will know that Walcombe has very fast hands and you can't outweight him. Goodbye. Tries to drop it off for Rose, intercepted by Bullis. Bullis up to Pecosdi. Pecosdi at the left-hand side, freedom of the room. Shot goes through everything, and Ballin Pecosdi, what a ripper, 36-11. The Wildcats retake the lead, 4-3.
It's great speed down the wing. We saw that with the Sayers goal. We see it on the other wing now with Pecosdi. He's been a guy in great form recently. He's scored quite a few goals in the last month or so. You can see here, he's got a good shot, and that's he's found a small gap there between Smittle and the post, and just fired it over. Again, like I say, it all comes with speed, and Pecosdi on the left-hand side. Yeah, it's just a small gap between the shoulder and the post.
The eye of a needle.
Yeah, and it's just found it.
4-3 to the Wildcats. They retake the lead. Bees win the draw. Lindgren knocks it ahead, turned away. Pecosdi's 23rd of the season. Lindgren knocks it up to Rossbottom. Rossbottom spins away from one, gets his pocket picked by Colby Tower. Rossbottom doesn't give up on the play. Tower tries to go at Stuart Mogg. Mogg stands his man up well. Lindgren knocks it ahead to Webb. Godfrey knocks the loose puck clear. Just over 3 minutes to go in the second period as the Wildcats ice it. 3:16 to go. And don't forget, you can use the hashtag BeesMNL. Tag us at BeesMNL. Let us know your thoughts, comments, anything you like. Final night of the season.
Pecosdi from Bullis and Bebris.
Pecosdi from Bullis and Bebris. Sounds about right to me for once. Face off left of Skins, won by the Bees. Snapshot, Skins covers up the first time of asking. Puck is loose, Lack has one go. And rightly so, stops as Skins covers up at the second time of asking. Wildcats able to get a change now. Face off to the left of Skins once more. Won by Smith, back up to the blue line, Wilstead. Shot takes deflection in front, bounces through to Neversell. He will try and clear it, that bounces over everyone's stick, icing waved off. Can now see James Lyons has just come out down here. Pitchley into the cat zone. Pitchley shot for a tight angle, saved by Skins. He will hold on eventually. Holds on before it can trickle through his legs.
I mean, it's fairly impressive that we've been standing here for almost an entire period and not noticed.
I suppose it's a good thing, though.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you're not noticing a referee on the ice, that's actually a good thing.
Yeah, it's what you want, really, isn't it?
Martin with the puck for the Bees now. Shot for time from Mogg. Saved by Skins, rebounding loose to Galazzi. We almost got it.
Yeah.
Back up to the blue line. Bradley over to Mogg. Mogg will outweight Lipsy as he goes to block the shot. Dylan Lipsy blocking a shot like me blocking it on NHL 23. Download to Galazzi. Galazzi shot saved by Dean Skins, party pooper.
I was going to say, we've had a couple in this period where Galazzi's kind of had those half chances around the net.
Hark up, skates in. Galazzi at the front of the net, tries to go underneath Skins. Skins keeps the gate planted to the post and kicks it away. Druitt pass is picked off by Wilstead. Wilstead from a tight angle, looks to pass it off. Neversell, good block. Stead can't get there ahead of Lipsy. Lipsy off the glass. Jamie Smith heads it clear. I mean, use everything you got. Mogg steps into the zone. Passes it off to Martin. Skins pushes it into the corner. Martin, as it's not loose by Floyd Taylor, over to Walcombe. Martin takes it away from anyone in a grey shirt. Comes out to Lipsy. He can't clear the zone. Galazzi accidentally knocks it ahead to Pecosdi. Pecosdi waits for his man, tries to find Floyd Taylor, goes for everything. Smith will have to be sharp and kicks it away. Bees up ice now. Walcombe takes a big hit. Still with it. Walcombe doesn't give up. Loris Taylor knocks ahead to Bullis. Bullis gets in round Bradley. Bullis still with it. Bradley does well there. Two Bees had to hold Bullis up there. Walkham, one man to beat, looks away, goes round Whitfield. There's those fast hands I said. Walkham hauled down again. No call this time. Put loose out to Gabai in front. Gabai shot, can't get away. 4 Wildcats in the lane to stop Dom Gabai from taking a shot. The smartest move all day. Final minute of the second period.
Good thinking there as well by Galazzi to not ice that puck and just fire it in on Smittle.
Gabai winds up, fires, blocked by the back of Edgar's Beveris. Shot for tight angle, blocked again by Edgar's Beveris. Rose's second chance there. Blocked. Sayers will get it out the zone. That's good enough. Cats with one last chance. Sayers able to bring it away from a pack. Sayers round one team out. Brilliant from Reed Sayers. Shot. Better save from Matt Smittle. B's clear. Whitfield across the Beveris from his own hash mark. Tipped on by Tower. 15 seconds to go. Stead. Round to Gabai. Time for one last rush if the Bees are fast. And here's the fast man you want. Brendan Walkham. 2 men to beat. Walkham shot. Blocked by Blues. Whitfield collects. He'll hold on. Skates into open space. Tower. Chance for a shot. Doesn't beat the buzzer. Saved by Matt Smittle. And at the end of a fast and frenetic 20 minutes, the Cats lead 4-3. Thanks to goals from Reed Sayers and Balint Picosdi. Brendan Walkham missed penalty shot in that period too that could have tied the game up. We'll be back in about 15 minutes to score. Bees 3, Wildcats 4. Welcome back to the third and possibly final period of the Bees 2022-2023 season. The score here, Bees 3, Wildcats 4. Stats from that period, shots on goal in the second period. There was 10 on Matt Smittle in the Bees net, 13 on Dean Skins in the Wildcats net. The only 2 goals in the game as producer Nick finishes the year off with a flub. Reed Sayers and Balint Picosdi with the goals. No penalties in that period. But Sayers, not Sawyers. You added a W. You've given them a W already. Producer Nick holding his hopes high for the third period.
There we go.
There we go. See, look, we could fix things on the fly.
No, I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
It's been a bizarre game.
Yeah.
So defence and hitting hasn't really been a thing, and if anything, it is your basic end of season, let's not get hurt, like we've been saying all night.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's been a relatively entertaining game, but it's certainly been scrappy, and as you say, not the physicality hasn't been there. I feel, you know, it's as you say, it's 2 teams who are trying to not do anything silly.
No. Must say elsewhere, obviously just around the country, congratulations to the Telford Tigers NHL 2 side who have won North 2, 6-1 beating the champions Hull Jets in the final. It almost makes their 9:30 PM face-off the other week worth it. South 2 is heading for an even bigger playoff shock as the number 5 seed Invicta Mustangs are 4-1 up against the Haringey Huskies in South 2. Everyone's party poop there as the number 1 and 2 seeds were knocked out yesterday in the semi-finals. But a 5 seed winning the playoffs, Tom, maybe that's an omen.
One can only hope. One can only hope.
I mean, I'm going to say, now, I'm not going to tweet it out from the NHL Stats Twitter account, at nhlstats.wordpress.com.
Nice plug.
Yep, always. Playoff quarterfinals of the National League. It looks almost set now that it's going to be the Leeds Knights versus the Basingstoke Bison, the Milton Keynes Lightning versus the Telford Tigers, the Peterborough Phantoms versus the Raiders, and the Sheffield Steel Dogs versus the Swindon Wildcats. Tom, obviously, 45 notoriously is the quarter-final that is the closest.
Yeah.
And the Cats have been the victim of a 4v5 upset in the past as well.
Yeah, and they've also been the beneficiary of one as well a few years ago against Milton Keynes. But, yeah, it's going to be a tough 2 games for both teams. It's going to be a real tight one. I think on paper, you could call it either way. Like, as a 4v5 should be, it's going to be the closest one to call, but both teams have, you know,
correct me if I'm wrong, I believe both teams have won 2 games in each other's barn this year.
Swindon have won all 3 in Sheffield, but have lost 2 out of the 3 in Swindon.
So yeah, the away game, and I think lots of them have gone to extra overtime.
I think 2 of the 3 in Swindon have gone to penalty shots.
So if you're a Cats fan, head down to the League Centre on Saturday. Cats have the home game second this time.
Yes, due to the wonderful thing that is ice time at Ice Sheffield.
Yes.
Which is very limited.
Very limited. Ask Telford, they know. Stephen Matthews on his own still, calls them in, and we are underway the third period. The Cats win the opening draw. Puck almost immediately turned over to Stuart Mogg. He finds Josh Martin. Martin shot for a tight angle, saved by Skins. Knocked clear, out the zone. Mogg could collect. He finds Harry Harkup. Harkup sent back. Fans on an attempt to dump in. Knocked ahead. That will possibly be icing. No. Precosdy beats out the icing call. Might as well knock it away momentarily. Precosdy collects, slides it across to a Wildcat D-man. I think is that Godfrey?
Yeah,
Yes,
Sam
please.
Godfrey.
It is Sam Godfrey. I always forget his name now. Bebrus collects, finds Sayers. Goes off the backboard to Bebrus. Cats into the zone with Jones, knocks ahead to Tower. Tower back has it towards goal. Smithell covers up, comes loose. Some reason Smithell let it go. Sayers with it, tries to go back to Tower. Well blocked by Galazzi. Almost a disastrous moment there for the Bees.
Yeah, just a bit of a momentary loss of concentration maybe from the Bees there.
It seemed to be a case of leaving it for someone else, and then they left it for Smithell.
Yes.
Stead collects his own pass into the zone, slides it over to Goodbye. Goodbye, 4 men to beat. Gets the shot on goal. Skins save. Walcombe shot from a ridiculous angle, also saved by Skins. Whitfield slides it over to Bebrus. Bebrus leads the rush. Gets a return pass. Bebrus from the goal line. Escorted away by Rose. Back up to the blue line. Finds Whitfield. Whitfield winds up. Fakes the shot. Down low to Jones. Jones shot from tight angle. Saved by Smithell. Sorry, Sayers, I should say. Sayers again. Sticks away by Smithell this time.
Is that Sayers or Sawyers?
Now. Producer Nick likes you. Don't ruin that.
Yeah.
Likes you more than me. Sayers into the zone. Flips it ahead. Lipsy. Cat's still with it. Shot from tight angle in the front. Blocked by Wilstead. Bradley collects a loose puck. Up to Lindgren. Drops it off for Rossbottom. Rossbottom away from one man. Rossbottom shot on goal. Tight angle misses everything and wide. Webb spins away from Lipsy. Leads the rush again. Webb again shot from tight angle. Lindgren following up. Can't get a stick down in time to knock it past Skins. Druitt brings it away for the Cats. Webb wheeling away from Druitt through traffic. Ryan Webb, good moves there to get through 3 Wildcats. Tries to drop it off for Rossbottom. Too many sticks in the lane in a white jersey, and that knocks it clear. Wildcats knock it ahead. Go for a change. Dan Bradley will collect. Wildcats into the zone. Loris Taylor knocked off the puck. Baird. Head to Lack. Herd of bodies meet in the middle. No one takes the puck. Bradley shoots it towards goal. Skins thinks about covering up and then decides not to. Interesting start to the third period so far. Wildcats into the zone again. Shot towards goal. Misses everything. Bullis drops it off at Precosdy, back to Bullis, shot goes wide. Tower away from Baird, away from everyone. Tower takes it away from the D-man and then takes JJ Pitchley to the floor. Lack knocks it ahead, Skins out of his net to play it. Cats quite happy to settle it down. Chipped ahead by Godfrey. Misses everything. Icing waved off for some reason. Tom even looking confused at it as much as I was there. It's Martin. Finds Galazzi. Galazzi will start the rush. Towards goal. Skins pushes into the corner. Martin keeps it back towards Galazzi. Galazzi steps in ahead of the Wildcats team and chops it off from Martin. Shot saved by Skins. 15:29 to go in the third. It's all a bit scrappy this period so far.
Yeah, it's been a bit scrappy. There's been a couple of moments, well, a moment probably for each netminder, where they had a slight miscommunication with the defence. And yeah, I mean, it's been very end-to-end, not a lot of stoppages yet.
Bees win the draw. Held up by Galazzi. Wildcats with it. Smith brings it away from one beast forward, starts the rush, goes in at Harvstead. Stead as well to round his man up. Cats go for a change. Bees can capitalise if they're quick. Martin drops it off for Harvstead. Back to Martin. Back to Harvstead. Harvstead shot. That is fantastic work from the Bees there. Great work from Harvstead and Josh Martin to tie this game up. 45-11.
Yeah, great passing between Harvstead and
Josh Martin.
Josh Martin, thank you. I already forgotten who it was. I mean, the Cats it wasn't a great line change, which kind of set up the opportunity, but they used the space so well here. You see the interchange of the passing, and it's a cracking finish from Harvstead.
The key one is
it past him.
That first pass as well. The oncoming forward, Harvstead must have eyes at the back of his head to see coming as well. To make sure it gets off his stick, back to Martin, back the other side. It's lovely work from the Bees. I think co-producer Annika has found her clip for the teaser in the week already. Knocks ahead. Harvstead with his 5th goal of the year. 27 points now. Chipped ahead. Bebris. Tries to start the rush. Turned over again. Rose gets his pocket picked here. And the Wildcats have a chance to break. It's the kid line. Druitt tries to drop it off of Ellipsy, but it's behind them. Bradley takes it away from Druitt. Goes back to Joe Baird. Bradley up to Walcombe. Walcombe, cross goal, comes straight away from everybody out the other side. Wilstead will try and flip it towards the Cats net. It's blocked. Cats on the rush. Bullis, great hand hill on the penalty, and that is called by Stephen Matthews, correctly so. 46-15 at the time of the penalty. I believe that's going to be a hook on Wilstead. He says, yes it is! Hooking on Wilstead is the call, 46-15. The Wildcats power play heading into the weekend. 51 goals on the year, 25.76%. And the Bees penalty kill that has given up 49 goals, 73.8. That has actually improved a lot. Going into March, they conceded 1 power play goal on 20 attempts, a 95% penalty kill, which is nosebleed for the Bees this year.
This is an interesting situation for Swindon, because we mentioned there were 3 guys out of the lineup in Nell, Malazinski and Cowley, and they're all on your top power play unit. So it's an interesting kind of setup tonight for the Cats.
It's mostly because I'm not able to update the stats properly through Saturday, mainly because I do other things. 52 power play goals all year for the Wildcats, and you're missing 30 of them.
Yes.
Just from those 3 players. Bebris, down low, cross-ice pass. Fast movement here for the Cats. Bebris winds up, fakes the shot, down low again. Shot from a tight angle off the shoulder of Smith on out the other side. Cosney knocked off the park. Mogg tries to clear. That looked like he went up in the Bees bench. Nothing doing. The Bees are able to clear the zone though with Lindgren. Lindgren tries to drop it off to Ryan Webb, and Webb luckily bounced away from him. Cats Tower knocks the puck away from Webb. Webb will change as they skate back. Cats into the zone. Knocked ahead by Picosdi. Mogg is there. He passes straight to Chris Jones. Tower spins away from one, almost back into danger. Jones. Download a Tower on the goal line. Tower spins away from step. Picosdi. Back up to Bebris. Winds up, cross, fires. Brilliant hammer time from Chris Jones. You could see it coming. He winds up, fires, and a Smittle cheats to his right. Chris Jones goes back the other way. Goes glove high on Smittle. 5-4, power play goal, 47-42.
Well, if you're a Wildcats fan watching this stream, this is a play you've seen from Chris Jones on countless occasions over the last few years. He loves that shot from that position on the power play, and he's just ripped that past Smittle. So it's a nice pass. Again, Eddie Bebris just running the point there, sets it up, and it's just fires the slap shot in.
Make the bottle go pop.
Yes.
Chris Jones, 28 goals on the year now, 7 of them on the power play. And another power play goal for the Cats. And goes through everything. Matt Smithell having his bottle get knocked off is a recurring theme this year. Some of my favourite ones is the Telford game, where Finley House literally exploded it. I'm fairly sure I sent you that clip as well.
Yes.
I've never seen a bottle explode off a shot. Face off to the right to Smithell, won by the Bees. Held up now in the sea of skates. Lack able to bring it away. Over to Baird. Baird off the glass, brilliantly batted down by Tyler Plews. Smith tries to clear it again. Bullis gloves it down this time. Baird there to hold him up. Everyone getting sort of tangled together at this point. Bees knock it clear with Smith. All the way around the back of the goal to Bradley. Pitchley. Into the cat zone, no one really there for company. And while Swindon able to clear. Bees with it, Dan Bradley finds Will Stead. His pass is errant, but Galazzi collects the loose puck. It's knocked away from a couple of sticks. Will Stead again up the right hand side, one man to beat. He's hauled down by Floyd Taylor. Puck cleared again. Wildcats have a chance on a 2-on-1. If that pass was accurate, but it isn't. It's behind Druitt. He slides it back out to Picosdi. Picosdi drops it off for Druitt. Druitt shot through traffic, goes wide. Rebound, Druitt collects it. Tries to pass it off to Floyd Taylor, but can't get there. Galazzi over to Will Stead up the right hand side again. Stead slides it across goal. Nethercell does well to get a stick in the line there and block the pass across. Jones through centre ice, loses the handle off a poke check by Galazzi, picks it up again off Harvey Stead's stick. Galazzi there to play clean up, however. Smith shot down, well, shot come pass across down to Chris Jones here on the goal line. Jones wheeling away from Harvey Stead, drops it off to Smith. Smith from behind the goal now. One man for company, takes it away from Josh Martin. Jones met by Harvey Stead. Puck knocked loose, Galazzi tries to clear, batted down well by Tower. Tower avoids the check from Galazzi, passing the centre ice, Sailors takes a block, and that takes a deflection in front, and that goes in. And dare I say it, I think that may have come off James Galazzi. The Cats get a 6th goal, 50-11 the time of the goal. And it's an unfortunate one for the Bees.
Yeah, it's either come off Galazzi or potentially a stick of Tower, I can't quite tell from that replay.
From the reaction, Gaza feels like it's come off him. The shot from the blue line is a rocket from Jamie Smith. Either way, it's going to go down as a Jamie Smith goal there.
Yes, yeah.
His second of the season for the young.
His first since opening day.
Yes, that's right. It was the 12-0 whole game.
Yes,
first game and the last game.
Yeah,
Good bookends there for Jamie Smith.
Yeah, he scored his first Wildcats goal on his debut, and it was the first Wildcats goal of the season, I believe.
Could it be the last?
Who knows?
50-11. Note they've given it to Colby Tower. After all of that, Colby Tower has stolen it.
Well, that discussion is completely pointless now.
Yep. Welcome to my world.
Yeah.
Wildcats at speed again. Loris Taylor into the zone. Puck comes loose. Shot from the point. Saved by Spindle. Rebound loose in front. Ballin Picosdi. And just like London buses, the Cats score 2 in quick succession. 50-34. Ballin Picosdi gets another one on the board.
Well, again, that's 2 goals in
20 seconds.
In 20 seconds from a similar route. You know, a shot off the point. It takes a tip. This time Smith gets a save, but there's a wide open Picosdi on the doorstep, and he just tucks it away. And suddenly, from nowhere, it's a 3-goal Wildcat lead. 3
very quick goals. The power play marker from Jones. Goals from Taron Picosdi, and dare I say it, this game might be in the books now with 9:26 to go. Bees win the draw. Lindgren brought down by Lipsy as they come together. Mogg dumps it in. Not hit Blues. Wildcats from their own zone. Picosdi from Bullis and Loris Taylor, the 7th goal. Cats at speed again. Smithell way out of his net to play it. Webb gets his pocket picked by Floyd Taylor. Taylor to the net. Too many men in the lane. Rebound comes loose. Good save from Smithell to knock it up and over the bar. Lindgren brings it clear for the Bees up the left-hand side. Towards goal, Lindgren shot, saved by Skins. Ross Bottom backhands it to what he was hoping was still Juha Lindgren. He's now gone to the bench. Ross Bottom doesn't give up on the play though for a moment. Unfortunately, that pass takes the deflection, comes out for the Wildcats. Druitt knocks it ahead. Straight to JJ Pitchley. Wilstead collects. Stead off the boards to Josh Smith. Goes through his legs to Jamie Smith. Wildcats stop with Chris Jones. Cross-ice pass over to Tower. He tries to flip it ahead to Jones. Nothing there. Wilstead up ice to Smith. Tries to go back to Pitchley. That misses everybody. And out the other side, Godfrey will collect. Wildcats ahead. Sayers off of the linesman. Bradley. Not cleared. Shot from the point. Saved by Smithell. Jones. Bradley tries to knock it clear. Can, only as far as Godfrey. Godfrey, backhand flick to the danger zone. Smithell can't grab it. Wilstead does his best to try and put it through his netminder. Smithell does well to cover it up. It's all falling apart here, really. 7:25 to go.
Smithell did well there, and Sam Godfrey put a lot of height on that chip that's almost come down with snow on it. But you know, Smithell's done really well just to track that puck and kind of keep following it with Tower right in front of him.
Good fly ball that. Should have really buffed it.
Baseball season started.
Don't we know it? Although I will say this, my boss is a Yankees fan.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my reaction as well. Hi Graham, if you're listening, back on this on Monday. Bees clear the zone. Producer Nick knows very well that Graham will be watching this back on Monday, so I might be in trouble for that. Oh, and Annika just said she's going to throw me under the bus, so oh good. Well, it was a fun one at last this season. I'm sacked. The Bees.
You made it to the end, though.
I made it to the end of the season. I thought I'd have to swear to get out of this job. Apparently, no, I just had to insult the New York Yankees. I didn't have that on the bingo card tonight. Galazzi wins the draw. Back into the danger zone again. Bullis. Pecosdi brings it back out to the blue line. Shot through traffic. Takes the deflection, goes into the far corner. Martin. High flip. Harkup can't get it past Nethercell. Over to Blues. Pecosdi. Held up by Baird. Crosby kicks it through to Galazzi. Martin up the right-hand side. Drops it off to Galazzi. Can't get the shot away. Joe Baird might though. Joe Baird's shot is saved in front by Skins. Back towards goal, through everything. I think Tom is even at that point where he'd like to see James Galazzi get a goal.
Kind of the fitting, isn't it?
Yes. You'll allow it now, I know. Yeah. Baird shot through traffic, loose in front. Harko there to collect. Good save by Skins again. Harvey Stead back to Baird. Dumps it round the corner to Galazzi, back to Martin, gets his stick lifted by Pecosdi, and the Wildcats can break here. I believe it's Lipsy, he gets stood up by Harvey Stead. Puck loose again, Lipsy doesn't give up on the play, knocks it clear to Floyd Taylor. Taylor off the base of the goal, and Mogg collects, finds Galazzi. Galazzi off the skate of Lipsy, kept in at the blue line by Floyd Taylor, drew it, chips it ahead. Cats will go partially for a change. Harvey Stead from behind his own net. Finds his way to Rose. Over to Mogg. Goodbye. Tries to get around Whitfield. Finds Walcombe, however, to the front of the net. Shot held up against the post. No, it's loose, and it's again, the whistle is blown. I think Skins thought he planted it against the post, but it was next to the goal. We'll have to make sure that Steve Whitfield and Edgar Beverly empty their pockets before they leave and let Don Goodbye out of them. It's been one of those nights.
It's been a pairing that's been really, really good for the Wildcats on D for the last kind of few months, probably since January time when they've been together as a pairing, and it's kind of worked, just seems to work really well. But yeah, they've had another good game tonight as a duo. It's
pairings like that you like to see. I mean, Wilstead and Stuart Mogg work well for the Bees on the count as you have. In both cases, you have, in our case, Moggy, in your case, Whitfield, the stay-at-home D-man who is used to just ushering shots into less dangerous places, as well as having the other D-man beat the attacking threat and essentially make it a four-man unit going the other way.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that.
Cats win the draw from Bullis, comes back to Jamie Smith. Stretch pass misses everything, goes the length of the ice. Icing called, 4:57 to go. Bees need something massive from here on out. Packed crowd here in Slough for James Galazzi's send-off. The Wildcats try and clear, kept in at the blue line by Mogg. Works his way around to Walcombe. Should say goodbye that time, actually. Again, gets his pocket picked by Bullis. Godfrey is there. Puck knocked away. Wildcats can break 2-on-2. Bullis goes round Mogg, round the back of the net. Sets it off for Sayers. Sayers down to Lipsy. Away from Rose. Turns into trouble. Bees try and get it away with Rose. No, 2-on-2 here against the Boars. Sayers able to bring it away momentarily. Attempts to pass batted down by Rose. Attempted clearance comes off of Stephen Matthews. Bees will go for a change. Walcombe collects the puck from behind the net. Brendan Walcombe at speed, through one, through two. Brendan Walcombe from a tight angle, shot blocked. All the way out to Baird on the blue line. Down to Walcombe, over to Webb. Webb from behind the Cats' goal. Wheels out, finds Lindgren rushing off the bench. Gets his stick lifted away by Lipsy. Cats the other way now, Druitt. Right to left, Druitt's shot is blocked by Baird. Finds Will Stead. He'll set Lindgren away. Lindgren tries to get around the D-man. Good stand-up poke check there from Tyler Plews. Druitt off the boards, only as far as Bradley. Bradley steps in, shot is a P-roller. No danger there really for the Cats as it's blocked. This one might though. Ross Bottom turns, shot over to Lindgren. Shot is fanned on, let's face it. Wildcats the other way again as they just look to shut this game down now. 2:50 to go. Wildcats into the zone. Sayers, almost a chance for Loris Taylor. Ross Bottom knocks it clear. Lindgren. His pass misses Ross Bottom. Wildcats collect. Up ice to Sayers. Smiddle settles it down for Harvey Stead. Both teams go for changes. Smith up the right hand side. Chips it ahead. Will he beat Godfrey to it? No, he won't. Godfrey will send the Cats the other way. Final 2 minutes of the game. Bullis stopped by Harvey Stead. He will find, well, try and find Lack, but that pass is wayward and then falls to Godfrey. Godfrey up to Druitt. Pass is sent back to Godfrey. Godfrey goes back behind the Cats net as the Bees change. And James Galazzi steps out for what could be the final time. He's going to play these last 90 seconds, whether he likes it or not. Cats ahead. Lipsy into the zone, chips ahead. Mogg is there to play it. Finds Harkup. Harkup leads the rush. Through centre ice, Harkup backhanded on goal, Skin saves. Back to Harkup. Harvey Stead can't, or sort of gets stuck halfway between staying on the blue line and jumping in on a play, which lets Loris Taylor clear the zone. Stead over to Harkup, finds Galazzi. Puck knocked loose again, Bullis collects. Goes around the boards to Jamie Smith. Stretch pass tipped ahead by Bullis. Wilstead collects, 30 seconds to go. Wilstead ahead to, I believe that's Galazzi. Galazzi shot from tight angle, blocked in front by Jamie Smith. He will send that over to Godfrey. The loose puck is knocked clear. Cats the other way. Gabai tries to jump in and does well to get there ahead of Sayers. Stretch pass over to Walcombe. Walcombe to the front of the net, pantses Dean Skins, and that is going to be how the Bees end the season. 59-57, Brendan Walcombe's 49th of the year, and it's a thing of beauty from the American.
What a lovely finish from Walcombe. He's going to be stuck on 49, he's not going to make 50, but it's not a bad one to end the season on. You know, he moves in, great speed off the wing. D-Man does his best, but he just absolutely puts Skins down and tucks it away.
It's exactly what we said with the penalty shot earlier. The hands are so fast.
Yeah,
and I
drags it
think
across.
Dino just felt like he had to commit one way.
Yeah.
And that is game over. Puck is dropped, Galazzi fires it on the goal, and that is the end of the game. The TSI World Bees 5, the Swindon Wildcats 7. The Wildcats finish the season with a win to go into momentum on the playoffs. And the Bees season ends, and so does the career of a Bees legend in James Galazzi. Well, we said we expected this game to be, you know, the result didn't really matter, the performance did for the Wildcats. It's a really fun game. If you are a fan of defensive hockey, though, you're having kittens.
No, it was, you know, it was kind of what you'd expect from a last game of the season. It was a bit loose, you know, it was scrappy, defensively not the best. There wasn't too much physicality there, which kind of opened up more space for the forwards. But yeah, it was a really entertaining game. You know, obviously you've seen, no one can say that they've not had good value for money coming to the game tonight. You've seen 12 goals and yeah, some really nice ones and some really entertaining hockey.
Some really nice finishes from both teams. We will, of course, have the man of the matches and well, we know there is going to be at least one presentation tonight. James Galazzi has the shirt off his back as well. Actually, this is the last time when you were here for the Leeds game. Pick your man of the matches. You got them bang on, so no pressure.
For Swindon, I think it's a tricky one because obviously there's a few guys in there who could get it. I think probably, I suspect it's going to go to, my guess would be Balin Pekosti, but I feel there's a few potential names in there. For the Bees, I mean, it's going to be James Galazzi, surely. Just for the sentimentality, it's going to be James Galazzi. Whether that's the right choice or not, I don't know.
If you had to pick an unsentimental choice for the Bees, then who would you say it is?
It's tricky. There was a few solid performances in there tonight for the Bees. I mean, Walcomb's goals were really well taken. I'd probably go with him on that respect. He scored 2 really, really nice goals.
It's one of those things that you see, if you're a Bees fan, you've been watching most of this year, the start of the season was rough, to say the least. But the team that has turned up since January onwards have put in performance after performance. And they've come into a game and finished 10th in the league, and it almost feels like a disservice. They put in so many results.
There's a lot of positives for Don Gavai to take into next year when he's building the squad. Obviously, you know, you don't know what his plans are going to be, but yeah, there's a lot of positives to take forward with the way they've played.
The first name for next year, I believe, is going to be announced on presentation night on the 19th. And I could tell you this for nothing, it's a new name.
Excellent. Reed Sayers, man of the match.
Man of the match for the Swindon Wildcats goes to Reed Sayers.
Another guy who had a really good performance, pushed up onto that top line tonight with him Cowley out of the lineup. So
Sayers is, I can't remember how old he is. I saw him when he was with
21 now.
I saw him when he was with the Cardiff Fire in South One a couple of years ago and thought this guy was class at the time. And he's really come into his own for that second line, third line guy. He's quite happy floating between the two and puts up performances well. He obviously receives the usual empty box, which for some reason has disappeared this week. Nick, what did you do with the box? There is obviously beers in the changing room, and of course this is the usual time where I say, Swindon Wildcats fans, if you have joined us either in the rink for all 3 games, joined us in the stream for all 3 games, if you bought it just for tonight, 2 games or whatever. Thank you. Enjoy the playoffs. Enjoy Coventry if you're going. Tom, I know you are.
Yeah.
Tom, I'll do it now because obviously you are a Wildcats fan, you do it. Thank you for joining me on commentary. You can now put that one off your wish list. You have now officially commentated on a Wildcats game, and I can see you grinning from ear to ear now as it is.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. It's a weird experience, but it's been fun.
Saves you from looking at your phone all night as well. Usually you are the unfortunate poor soul who has to give the updates.
Yes, send out all the updates to everyone, yeah. But yeah.
As we move on to the shirt off his back presentation, which, well, man of the match for the Bees.
Kind of had to be.
Had to. We said the sentimental one comes out. It's only right and fair.
Oh, the box is back.
We found the box. Good work, Nick. James Galazzi also has the shirt off his back. He is going to, I believe it was shirt off his back. I don't know what's happened here. He has to sign the lucky or the cap. I believe he's signing 2 or maybe even 3, I think, here. He's got no excuse not to do a lap here.
Yeah.
4! Nick, is Becky just getting rid of all the hats?
There's a 5th.
There's 5! If he throws all 5 into one section, I'm going to be very disappointed. 1, 2. There's some very dodgy cashing going on already. 3, that one's dropped. 4, caught slip. 5, it's in deep right field. Out.
There's definitely some people there who would want to sign up for your cricket teams over the summer, and some who perhaps
if we're doing
wouldn't.
the Bees Bash again in August, there's a couple of people there that I'm not looking forward to. Usually tell me they are doing the Bees Bash. Does that mean I'm going to be allowed to play this year? Good, I'm rubbish. James Galazzi presents shirt off his back. I'm only going to play if Dan Weller-Evans does, because I want to bowl him out. That's my only request. And there's the winner of the shirt off his back. Like I said, James Galazzi. He will skate, no doubt, for one last lap of honour. I believe this is the shirt off his back sponsors. I could be wrong. It's always good when you're told what's going on ahead of time. The Wildcats fans have already left.
Not all of them. I can see some red and white hanging around over there.
Bees are going to go for a lap of honour now.
I mean, I hope they haven't all left, because otherwise I'm not getting a lift back to Swindon.
Tram station, yeah, come with me. The Bees go for their last lap of honour of the season. They will enjoy their summer. They have worked their absolute socks off at all 56 games this year. The butt of many jokes as the year has gone on from a lot of places. But the Bees are back for next year. Season tickets are on sale. Of course. I said first new name on the list to be announced in 2 weeks. I'm going to say it, nobody else will. I'm not going to tell you who it is though. All I'll say is, he plays ice hockey.
Narrow that one down. Narrow that down.
Always. Now, I have got something prepared for the end of this, but I am also going to wait for if there is anything more going on with James Galazzi, which means producer Nick has to sit around and wait for me this week. Fantastic. He's just said, no, I can hit stop whenever I like. That's always good. Luke Jackson joining them on the ice. I believe Bernie Askins, Bill Webb, David Spalton. The whole team is getting on there, as always, apart from the poor sods up here in the balcony. Well, I say the whole team here. It's Danny Purchard, Steve Merry, who are at the playoff finals. Lucy Spalton, who is homesick. Get well soon, Lucy. Me, who should be at home sick. So I will say it now, hopefully there's enough time. It is a case of, I will say this, thank you to all the people behind the scenes who have helped the TSI World Bees on this season. Match night coordinator Dave Williams, the match night team, Kerry Williams, Christine McCarthy, Kate Jones, Katie Turner, Kim Purchard, Martin Goodfellow, Sharon Ballon, Zana Goodfellow. The Supporters Club, Becky Clark, Ben Clark, Beth Lake, Fiona George Smith, Katrina Clark, Michael Lee, Rachel Smith, Sarah Gordon. The off-ice official teams, off-ice officials team, Ali Hatherley, Ivan White, Jason Natara, Danny Purchard, Denise Mogg, Lizzie Hatherley, Lucy Spalton, Mark Hatherley, Michelle Lindgren, Nick King, Simon King and Steve Merry, and of course your media team who have handled the stream and the socials and all that stuff for this year. Chris Callahan, Laura Simmons, Richard Brown, I'm going to say Andy Turner again because he's technically my boss, and of course Annika Heimhook and Nick Heimhook, who I have to say thank you for putting up with my nonsense for this year. It has made a year that I was going to do absolutely nothing a hell of a lot more enjoyable, so thank you for putting up with my nonsense. Please fire me. And at the end of all of that, I just have to say, for the end of the 2022-2023 season for the Bees, from me, producer Nick and co-producer Annika, thank you and good night.